Jolteon is one of my favorite Pokemon. I used it a lot back in the day, but can I take one Jolteon and beat Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green as a Pokemon challenge? It is the second evolution in the Pokedex, but is it one of the best or just middle of the pack? Jolteon has the highest speed from all Eeveelutions, and I'm pretty sure there's no Pokemon who can outspeed Jolteon in this run. Special attack is amazing. It will destroy a lot of Pokemon very quickly. Only the physical attack is very low, and that will be an issue. Checking the moveset is a bit sad. It can use several good moves, but there are no good moves against ground types, which is the bane of Jolteon's existence. The only moves it can use are physical, which is horrifying to think about. Even on a TM and HMs is only Thunderbolt and Thunder relevant, but I have a feeling I will rely a lot on Iron Tail in return to beat rocking ground type Pokemon. Here are the rules. I can only use Jolteon in battle. I can catch other Pokemon since I need HMs to finish the run. I cannot use any items in battle besides Pokeballs, and held items are allowed. With that said, let's begin. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to change Squirtle to Jolteon. This way I can use Jolteon for the entire run and have Bulbasaur as my opponent, who should be the hardest one to beat. Jolteon also has a plus attack nature, since attack will be very important for multiple encounters. Contrary to popular belief, electric type moves have a big issue against a lot of major battles. But the first electric type move Jolteon learns is Thunder Shock on level 16. It will be basically the only move used for the entire early game. The first major battle and the first gym leader is Brock, who specializes into rock type Pokemon. That wouldn't be an issue, but for some reason he is also the ground type specialist. That is a big issue. At level 16 it is still nowhere close to beat him. That is crazy. After a long grind and a lot of luck, I was able to face off against Onyx while showing him who the boss is. Sand attack is a nasty strategy I learned from the rivals Pidgeotto, but I use everything I can to beat Brock. When it is finally done, I breathed a sigh of relief. This battle was hard, and hopefully the only hard battle in this run. It was in fact not the only hard battle in this run. A lot of people might not know how many rare candies there are in Fire Red and Leaf Green, so I wanted to count them. First rare candy is in Mount Moon at the southeast corner. Here is also the fossil, and of course I took the Helix fossil. Lord Helix is always watching. The second rare candy is available in Cerulean City, right at this little flower bed. Since my starter Pokemon is Jolteon, an electric type, I figured why not battle against Misty first. She bases her team around water types, which are amazing for me. Staryu is done before I can make even a single move. Starmie however looks dangerous, but Thundershock hits paralyzed, and Starmie stayed paralyzed. That is like a dream come true. Misty is already defeated. It was really fast, and that's how I like it. But there's another major battle lurking around the corner, and that is the rival at the Nugget Bridge. His team can be very hard to beat with only one Jolteon. Pidgeotto is not a big deal, one Thundershock and it's done. Next Rattata, but it never stood a chance in the first place. This Abra however can survive a hit, which I didn't expect. Can only use teleport, so it's fine. Last is Bulbasaur, and this is one of those battles again. Sand attack is very important, and while I wanted to see Poison Powder, Sleep Powder missing is great too. Some Tail Whips to boost my damage and then hope to win before Bulbasaur does. In hindsight, why did I use Tail Whips in the first place? Looks like pushing Tackle looked a lot safer. Anyway, the rival is defeated, and that's all which matters. Opening up Route 24 and 25 is always a nice point of the runs for me. But at Route 25 are some hikers. These battles are horrible. I don't have any good moves against rock and ground type Pokemon, and have to hope that they don't destroy me with any good moves. But don't you worry, they will get good moves later in this run. Here's a point where I had to think a lot. Do I battle the hiker with 3 Geodudes to collect secret power, or do I skip it? Well, I skip it for now. Before leaving Cerulean City, I can grab the TM for Dig, which is a huge upgrade to Jolteon's moveset. The first move which can beat up on rock type Pokemon. That's great. The third rare candy is to find around 6. It's a hidden item as well, so look closely. The next battle against the rival takes place on the SSN. I was not sure if I can beat him without secret power, but it turned out quite fine. Pidgeotto is still a 1-hit KO, but Raticate does survive a hit now. I do have Quick Attack in my arsenal to finish it off. Kadabra can be bad with its Sable, but it did use Kinesis, an even worse move, but it failed, and that's a good thing. Last is Ivysaur, and I try a similar strategy again. Using Sand Attack to skip Sleep Powder and then Dig for some damage. Poison Powder was able to connect, so sleep is off the table and I can use quick attacks to grind Ivysaur down. It wasn't as close on the surface, but a lot of stuff could go wrong. I beat him anyway and can grab the HM for cut, which I desperately needed to check on Lieutenant Surge. He got destroyed so often, I have to look out for him. And in this run, he does not only get destroyed by one singular Pokemon, but it's also the type he specializes into. That's rough. Only Raichu was able to do anything, but the worst part of the battle was double team not being completely useless. It's always a waste of time though. One dig even missed and Jolteon got punished by a Thunder Wave hit. In the end, it didn't really matter, and Raichu went down. Lieutenant Surge lost again, and it's now so normalized, everybody just expects it at this point. Thanks to Cut from the SSN, I'm able to grab the TM secret power. I should have grabbed it for Lieutenant Surge, but it worked out fine. The fourth rare candy is here on round 9, also a hidden item, and I didn't even have to make a detour to get it. My Pokemon techniques will leave you crying? Okay, bring it. Jolteon uses Dig and Magnitude. It hits while I stay underground. Oh no, I don't like electric type Pokemon anymore. But at level 30 is a big power move. Double Kick. This move is very important to beat up some rock type Pokemon. Like this hiker, he would be very hard to deal with, but Double Kick made this battle very easy. Only Graveler survived, but it didn't do anything in return, so it was a nice free win. The rival at the Pokemon Tower is quite interesting. He was meant to be battled right after Rock Tunnel, but it's possible to skip it and battle him way later. I like to battle him now, and here we are. Pidgeotto has quick attack for some damage, but one Shockwave knocks it out. Next is Gyarados, but Shock is double, super effective beating it as well. Here's Growlithe, and while Shockwave beats it too, the Intimidates are very bad for me now. Against Kadabra there's nothing to do but hit with Shockwave, beating it from full HP. Last Ivysaur, but 2 Intimidates reduced my attack way too much and I have to rely on Shockwave. Even the Secret Power seems to deal more damage somehow. Not sure how it works, but I do know that Sleep Powder is very annoying and Razor Leaf could hit critical at any moment. It didn't matter, the rival is defeated, and this already shows that I might have some problems later on, especially when the mystery last Pokemon of his team arrives. Sometimes I forgot to grab the TM return until way later on, but this time I did not forget and grabbed it right away. Also, the 5th rare candy is in the Rocket Hideout. I usually take it after I grab the keys to the lift. By checking out the Rocket Hideout, I thought why not battle against the leader of Team Rocket, Giovanni. What I didn't know at that point was that this character will be one of the hardest fights in the entire game, but that comes a bit later. First Onyx and it never does good damage, while Double Kick destroyed it, even if I need 2 moves. Next is Rhyhorn, and it was only able to do a Stomp for damage. I love to see Stomp instead of Leer. Leer would be horrifying. Last Kangaskhan, but Giovanni did everything he could to lose. No fake out and also just takes a critical hit. Why would he do that? Anyway, Giovanni is defeated, and I can check out the gym in Celadon City next. Erica was actually impossible, no chance. But I did get to learn Pin Missile. That should be a great move going forward. But before that, the 6th rare candy is lying around in the Pokemon Tower just near the top. The 7th rare candy is hidden in the grass on Route 12. Hard to find, but it's worth it. After running away from Snorlax, I can enter the Cycling Road. The 8th rare candy is hidden on Cycling Road, also known as Route 17. I always count the signs on the left side. It's at the same height as the 3rd one. I tried every major battle, like Erica, Koga, and even the rival Silph Co, and I cannot beat anyone, not a single one. I thought Pin Missile might be great, but it's easily one of the worst moves to get. Why is it so bad? I don't get it. I buy back Secret Power from the Celadon department store, and also grab the TM24 Thunderbolt. It's one of the strongest moves in the game. I thought about Rain Dance with Thunder, but I need more move slots for this run. With it, I was finally able to challenge Koga. It took a long while, but I'm here. Coughing is weak on special defense, so Thunderbolt is enough. Next is Mug, and I got very lucky. Thunderbolt hits, paralyzed, and it stayed paralyzed just to get hit by a Secret Power for the range and then gets knocked out by another Thunderbolt. Next Coughing is quite similar as the first one, going down immediately. Koga's ace is wheezing, and while Thunderbolt did great damage, Sludge did an insane amount. Wow, Jolteon is really weak on the defense. It is quite fast though. Koga is defeated and this badge actually boosts defense. Maybe Jolteon can now tank some more hits. Right back at the Celadon City, against Erica, the grass-type gym leader. I went in thinking it could be hard, and it was. But victory I got really lucky. I used secret power, paralyzed it, and it stayed paralyzed. 2 major battles in a row, Tangleize next, and while secret power did great, poison powder was used and I had a Cherry Berry ready for Twictibel Stun Spore. Not sure how to feel about this situation. Blasts a Vileplume and secret power immediately paralyzed. I cannot complain about bad luck for a while, but I will still do it. It's like my jam. After some Giga Drain and Thunderbolt shenanigans, the battle is over and Vileplume goes down. Erica's defeated and it went more smoothly than expected. Way too smoothly actually. Here comes the most controversial part of the run. I talked to the move tutor for Substitute. I know a lot of people don't like this move, but I love it. Let's see if I'm able to use it for its full potential. And maybe this is a battle to figure it out. The rival Silph Co can be notoriously hard to deal with. First Pidgeot, and while Quick Attack deals some damage, Thunderbolt just knocks it out. Against Gyarados it's a simple bolt of the Thunder variety and the Water Snake is out. Though Growlithe looks quite intimidating, but went down fast too. Against Alakazam I finally went for Substitute, not sure if Future Sight gets prevented, but 2 Thunderbolt defeats Alakazam. I believe the battle against Venusaur shows the true power of Substitute. While Future Sight still hits, the opponent feels the need to waste moves on a Substitute, like Sleep Powder. Jolteon can just continue with Thunderbolt until Venusaur is down. Rival is defeated and it went about as perfectly as it can. Amazing. But Substitute grew on me and I really want to play with it more. But the next battle is usually not very friendly for Substitute users. Or maybe it is. Anyway, Giovanni is a very dangerous opponent in this run just because of his typing alone. First is Nidorino and Thunderbolt hits critical, but it shouldn't matter. Nidoqueen however is the point where I went for Substitute and Giovanni actually used a lot of tail whips into it, while Secret Power deals some damage back. Eventually Poison Sting hits and crits, but Jolteon had a Patcha Berry ready just in case. Kangaskhan is always the point where I realized that Jolteon is super fragile. Mega Punch nearly devastated my electric type in one go, which is quite unnerving for the late game. Thunderbolt did its job like usual. Lazarihorn and Double Kick did about half, while Stomp nearly took Jolteon out. Only 6 HP remained, that level of close. Giovanni's defeated and I'm not looking forward to the last encounter. I feel like ground type Pokemon are way too strong against me. And the 9th rare candy is at the Silph Co. It's easier to grab after beating Team Rocket. Not sure how to evaluate Sabrina, but Jolteon is already at such a high level, it should be fine. Kadabra has no chance against Thunderbolt. Mr. Mime does survive one, but Cormine will not help since it deals so much damage, it is still a 2-hit KO. Against Venomoth, I went for the Substitute and it worked out brilliant, negating the Supersonic immediately. 1 Thunderbolt and there's only 1 left. Alakazam can be crazy strong, but with a Substitute it should be fine. Cormine looks nice, but it's just slightly out of heal range and another bolt finishes it. Sabrina is defeated again and I cannot remember the last time she made any issues to my team, but maybe I just misremember. The 10th rare candy is available in Fuchsia City if strength is able to be used outside of battle. And the 11th rare candy is in the Pokemon Mansion on the Cinnabar Island. Another hidden item, but it's totally worth it. The gym leader on Cinnabar Island is Blaine, the fire type enjoyer. Even with Jolteon who hits everything neutral, it will be a blast. First Growlithe and Thunderbolt defeats the fire dog. Next Ponyta and Thunderbolt did a job again, great start. Rapidash actually takes the Thunderbolt and survives while firing a fire blast back. It doesn't work out and after the Hyper Potion, the Burning Horse goes down too. Lazarkanine, the legendary fire dog, and Thunderbolt hits and crits. I hope it would KO either way. But I don't think so. Blaine is defeated and there's only 1 badge left, but that 1 badge is brutal. It's harder than anything that came before. So I take a little journey to the Sevii Island to relax a bit before fighting the last portion of the run. And get the 12th rare candy on Cape Brink, which is part of 2 Island, hidden behind a house again, very sneaky. This gym is horrible. Giovanni, why do you make my life so hard right now? Look at this random trainer in the gym. There are 2 Minotaur trainer and this one has 2 Marowak who easily destroys my Jolteon. And right afterward would be 3 more ground type Pokemon. I believe the gym leader is even worse. I think one of the best TMs to get for Jolteon is Iron Tail from the Game Corner. It's a bit better than Double Kick. Even at level 55, it is not enough to beat Giovanni. I have a plus attack nature for this situation, and it is still not enough. Without it, it might be really bad, needing a lot of levels to even stand a chance. But I will try again and again until I maybe win. Which took a bit, but here we are. Giovanni is a ground type specialist. Usually it's irrelevant, the team has a water type damage user somewhere, but with only Jolteon, it's not a lot I can do. First the Rhyhorn and I use substitute and need to see Scary Face to negate it. And then hit back with Iron Tail to KO. Dugtrio is fast, but Jolteon is way faster and return is enough. Nidoqueen is the first real issue I have, return to deal damage, but Earthquake will always break my substitute of course. Another return and it is done. But Nidoking is here too. I do get a critical hit, which is very important. Last is another Rhyhorn. What I didn't realize is that Jolteon has so many HP left that Giovanni wants to use Scary Face, but I miss a lot and waste a lot of potential. In hindsight, substitute would have been okay to use. But even after 2 Scary Face, Jolteon is faster and beats Rhyhorn in 1 hit. Giovanni is finally defeated. For me it took ages to beat him and I got super lucky in the end, but I have still a lot of battling left to do. The arrival at Route 22 is the first taste of the Elite Four, the last battle gauntlet. I needed so many levels against Giovanni. This battle should at least feel as if it's doable. First Pidgeot and Substitute came in clutch against Feather Dance. I love the interaction. Even Quick Attack doesn't break it. Rhyhorn is next, but I beat so many Rhyhorns, what is one more? Gyarados was the point where I realized that even Intimidate is negated. Substitute is great. Growlithe would be another one, but not today. Against Alakazam I can use Return since both Intimidates were negated anyway. Last is Venusaur and this could go on for a while. Return does deal some damage, but Venusaur has Synthesis. But I just get a critical hit to skip all that. The rival is defeated and I can move on to the Elite Four. Just a little side note, even without a critical hit, it would have been fine. Return has a lot of more power points. And here's the last rare candy before the Elite Four, in Victory Road. The other item is the TM for Dragon Claw. The Elite Four begins, the last battles of the run. First the Lorelei, the water type specialist, and this should be an easy victory, right? First Dugong and Thunderbolt defeats it in one go. Next Cloyster, but I assume Protect and had the opportunity to use Substitute. One Thunderbolt is enough to beat Cloyster. Now comes Slowbro, and it's very good on defense, but not a special kind. Lorelei's ace is Lapras and Substitute negates Confuse Ray. I really like that move, it's great! Thunderbolt doesn't knock it out in one go, so I have to burn through all the full restores first, but that's fine for me. Last is Jinx, and again Sweet Kiss into Substitute. As if the Elite Four never saw Substitute like ever. Lorelei is already out of Pokemon, but let's be honest, this was of course the easiest Elite Four member, by far. Completely different to Bruno, the hiker of the Elite Four. I don't stand a chance against him at all. This run really shows that the trainer I made fun of the most are really dangerous sometimes. Well, not Lieutenant Surge, he is still quite bad. So I am already at level 62, but I grabbed all the rare candies. Why not use them all and see where I end up? Bruno with the help of all the rare candies is still very tough nut to crack. It's crazy. First Onyx and Substitute is now strong enough to not break against Rock Tomb, while Iron Tail finishes it off. The second Rock Snake is stronger and survives Iron Tail, while Earthquake removes the Substitute. I have no other choice but to continue until the second Onyx is defeated, even if it costs me one Citrus Berry. Against Hitmonchan however, it's one Thunderbolt. Same with Hitmonlee, even if I thought it would survive. Last Machamp and Thunderbolt did amazing damage, while Scary Face is not enough to outrun a Jolteon, it's just that fast. Bruno is finally defeated and one Crusher would have made a big difference. Bruno is the reason why Agatha looks so weak now. It's crazy how big the difference are between weak to one and neutral to the other. Every single Pokemon goes down to one Thunderbolt as if they are wild Pokemons. It's crazy. Agatha never stood a chance and I move on to the last Elite Four member. Who is a flying type specialist, can you believe it? Lance and his team is very weak to Jolteon, but I do have to make some different plays. Not against Gyarados, one Thunderbolt is all it takes. Next is Dragonair, I don't know if this is a Thunder Wave one, so I just went for Substitute, but Outrage is strong enough to break it at the second time. Second Dragonair, same strategy, this time it is the Thunder Wave one and I get a lot of free turns. Actually just two, I knock it out quite fast. Lance's Ace Dragonite does survive not one, but two Thunderbolts. Only reason I am still standing is that Dragonite locks itself into Outrage, losing without any full restore used. Last Aerodactyl, and while it is super fast, Jolteon is still faster. Lance is defeated and Elite 4 is over. But there's one final battle left to do, and that is the champion. Who will win? The champion of Kanto who mastered all their challenges with perfect precision, or that one Jolteon without a lot of move variety? Let's find out. Pidgeot will see a substitute, and of course Sand Attack is negated. I do not like to have it used against me. Next Rhydon, and the reason why substitute is so important. I need 2 hits with Iron Tail, and 1 Earthquake would easily beat Jolteon on the spot. Here's Alakazam, and I went for Thunderbolt, which was not enough. I could have been in big trouble with Paralysis, but it never hit. Reflect halves all physical damage, and Return still did over half. Maybe I just should have pushed Return from the start. At least my substitute is broken now. Gyarados has Intimidate, which hits, but Thunderbolt is special and wins. Arcanine is next, and that Intimidate basically sealed my physical attacks away. Flamethrower activated Citrus Berry and could have burned, but didn't. After burning, the last full restore went down. Last Pokemon off the run is Venusaur, and that is crazy close. Thunderbolt against Growth, and then Thunderbolt did Paralyze, which was the ticket to victory. While Solar Beam charges up, I can use Substitute, but that Paralysis sealed the deal, negating basically 2 turns. Another Solar Beam is charged up, but it's too late now, and Jolteon delivers the finishing blow while being on 26 HP. The champion of Kanto is defeated, giving the title over to me, beating Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green with only 1 substitute. I love Jolteon, I love this run, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for watching, please like, comment and subscribe, I see you in the next one.